It's June, and we have Evan Campbell, who is at Westminster Canterbury. We've got THC drinks, we've got award winners, we've got the Richmond 100. Holy moly, it's been a big month. Welcome to Eat It, Virginia.
Hello and welcome to Eat It, Virginia. My name is Scott Wise, and I'm joined, as always, by my friend Roby Martin. Roby, it's June, but it's not June 1st. We did not get this podcast out on time.
I know. And actually, that's really my fault. As you sent an email to someone about life being lifing, it lifed a lot, and you guys have new graphic things. Nick's busy, running CBS now.
The truth is, I needed a haircut. I didn't want to do this without a haircut, so that's the truth of the matter.
Well, Joanne's cutting my hair tomorrow, so I missed my haircut.
Very nice, very nice. Well, Joanne, you've got a very important client here. Please don't screw this up.
She's a great one, so no. We got all sorts of things that happened in the dining scene.
So much news to catch up on. Of course, we want to thank our listeners. Continue to send us emails at eatitvirginia@gmail.com. Continue to comment on our social media videos on Instagram. We love seeing your comments at Eat It Virginia on Instagram. We're on the CBS 6 TikTok as well, and we love seeing the comments there as well. What did you want to lead this podcast with, Roby?
I think we should talk about some really big news in the Richmond dining scene. We have both Justin Lowe and Deb Freeman, who have been nominated for James Beard Awards.
It's amazing. It's like the largest award in the food industry.
It's essentially the Oscars of journalism, which I think is food journalism.
Sure.
Which I think is really just epic. It's epic. I couldn't be more excited.
What are the details? What are they nominated for, and what work specifically? Do you know?
So, Finding Edna Lewis, which also has won an Emmy. Deb is the creator / host of that particular show, so that's really cool. And then Justin Lowe has had some pieces in RVA Mag, which I really think that's cool that's one of them. And then a couple of other places. Queer and Present Danger is one of them, along with his work on Lost Cause.
Justin is their food critic for the Richmond Times-Dispatch.
Justin Lowe being the food critic for RTD. He is nominated for the Jonathan Gold Award, which another individual that has ties with Richmond is also nominated for. So, I feel like we can't go wrong. Stephanie Rizzo of the LA Times is also nominated for her work, which is so, so cool.
So in addition to being wonderful humans, both Justin and Deb are...
And Stephanie.
Well, yes, but Justin and Deb specifically are both former podcast guests.
They both have been here, yes, and talked about what they're doing. And I really think the whole idea of putting Richmond... we have such great food writers. I'm hoping that these two great food writers and obviously hosts of shows will open the door to other food writers' work being seen nationally, which I think that's, while I want them both to win, both of them to win, I hope that their recognition brings light to Eileen and Carrie and other individuals, Megan Marconiak, and
all of our faves.
I know all the good food writers in Richmond that have been working for so long, right? Like the group that I just mentioned have combined almost 80 years of food writing
Stephanie
experience.
As
well, Brijo,
Gans too.
Marconiak, Stephanie Gans, Eileen Mellon. Together, there's 80 years of food writing.
Right. Talented group of people.
Hugely.
And they all deserve recognition. So we're recording this on June 4th. Deb,
they'll know on June 13th.
Yes,
or
very
14th.
soon.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So check the social media to see if they won and send them congratulations if you can. I mentioned they were both former podcast guests. Today's guest is also a former podcast guest, Evan Campbell, who used to run the Stables restaurant in the Museum District, moved across the country, came back, and now is leading up kitchen operations at Westminster Canterbury. What was the official, not retirement center, that's what we called it back in the day. It's probably called something.
Assisted living.
Yeah, continuing care.
Continuing care.
Yes.
CC, he said.
He's got some fun stories to share with us about his cross-country trip and his side hustles, let's call them. Multiple.
That guy's busy, and I love that.
Since we last spoke, our friends at the Richmond Times-Dispatch dropped their annual, because last year was the first year, Richmond RTD 100, in which they rank the top 15 restaurants in Richmond and then
throw out a yellow pages for the rest.
And then throw out, what was it, 85? Is that the right number? 85 other restaurants that are worthy of discussion and accolades. You've seen the list?
I've seen the list, yes.
In general, without naming restaurants at this point, what do you think of the project and what do you think of the rest of the list in general?
So the project itself is ridiculously hard undertaking. I mean, I know that took a lot of work. Megan and Justin, and then Meredith, who I actually do not know, but I know that she's part of it. That just 100 restaurants means you're either eating or going or eating more than 100, right? So each of them had to have been full every night of the week is my thought process on that.
Yeah, the editor over there, Colleen, was telling us that she said they made it a point that this year they actually visited all these restaurants. Like maybe they didn't visit them all last year. Maybe some of them just off reputation. So quite the process, as you mentioned.
I love that they visited all the restaurants they're writing about.
Interestingly, the Roosevelt, which was the #1 restaurant ranked in the RTD last year, was also the #1 restaurant ranked this year. Roosevelt is obviously one of our favorite restaurants. We love the owners. We love the chef. We love everything about it. You created, let's call it not the RTD 100, but the ROB Top 50. Top 15, I should say.
Yes.
The ROB Top 15. Roosevelt was not #1 on your personal list.
It is not #1. Now, obviously, restaurant thoughts are very, they're very personal. It's like everybody eats, so therefore you have an opinion. And mine is definitely going to differ. I mean, even I write with Megan. We write a column together at Style Weekly, and even she and I have different opinions on where restaurants will sit. So everybody will have them. So no, it's not.
Before we dive into the ROB Top 50, back to the RTD 100.
Yes.
You made a note as we were talking before we sat down here that the RTD's Top 15 is a big shift from last year.
It's really surprising. Do you think it has something to do that they visited all of them?
Could
I don't
be.
actually know. But yeah, over half of the ones that were on the list last year are not on the list this year, the top 15. And then some of them that were in the top 5 last year are gone entirely.
And then they also, I was talking to Colleen about this. They cheated a little bit, I think, by combining some of our favorite restaurants into one restaurant. So,
some of them.
Yeah, some of them. Edo Squid,
which is weird to me too, by the way.
Edo Squid and Dynamo are now Edo Squid / Dynamo.
But Lillian is just Lillian.
Yeah, I think the explanation that I got was Brooklyn, Lillian, and Lost Letter are 3 distinct vibes and 3 distinct restaurants where, at least in their opinion, places like Edo Squid and Dynamo, they share certain ownerships, have a similar vibe. But you were saying you don't feel that.
No, I'm pretty sure somebody would say that Jewish Italian is different than Italian. That's my thought.
Yeah, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Any of the other restaurants you think that should have been combined or maybe separated even more?
I don't know. I think there's a lot to be said for, either separate them or don't separate them. Please know that when you asked me about my 15, I went RTD on it.
Yes, you
and
cheated also.
Mashed them together. So
You're following the leader.
Yeah, I'm following who did it. So I would like a little bit more insight into how you either fall off the list altogether or you show up on the list with no background whatsoever. Also, Lafayette and Grace, while both great restaurants, have been open for
just months.
Months.
Yeah.
5. I'm not saying that isn't a reason to be on the list, but it's not that long.
True. But to be devil's advocate, Brooklyn hasn't been open that long either.
Sure, I agree. I'm just wondering what that time frame is. And I am of the belief that if you're open, you're open. But I would like to know more about what that thought process is. Me specifically, who writes about food in Richmond and the state of Virginia and nationally. Yeah. You probably nobody else wants to know that but me. But
hopefully our listeners do.
Yeah. Well, those are just thoughts that cross my mind. I also don't understand, and you and I talked about this as well. Why rank 15 and then not 85? Now, I know Colleen answered that, but it feels like now the 85 is just a list where the 15, they've been compared against each other. So I either think compare them all or compare none of them.
Well, I think Richmond diners appreciate having a quick access list that they can go to. And, there's that, I think his name is Jacob. He has an Instagram account, and I think he might have started it last year around this time, where he's checking out the top 100.
I love that
list.
Instagram.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So stuff like that. A list is helpful. People love lists. So
I'm not saying that it's not helpful.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm certain I'll use the list. I love the people that collaborated on it, and I value their opinion. So I feel like that the list is valued. Roby, am curious as to how the sausage is made.
Yes.
Is that a good restaurant reference, or
I like
just
it.
everywhere?
I like it. These are the 5 restaurants that were in the top 15 last year that are not. They are in the top 100 this year, but they're not in the top 15. They are Lost Letter, they are Penny's, they are Blue Atlas, they are ZZQ, and they are Stella's.
So what happened at Lost Letter that's so egregious that it's just like...
Well, it's funny because I asked that specific question and I was told, don't look at it as if they are doing anything worse than they were doing last year. That was the answer that I got.
How do you think Lost Letter's looking at it?
I mean, that's a good question, and we should ask the folks, our friends over there. I think maybe, this wasn't told to me, and this is just me inferring that there's just politics involved. Like, that restaurant group has a restaurant in the top 15. They don't want to give all 3 of the restaurants can't be in the top 15. They could be, but then you're leaving other people out. Richmond's still a smallish town, and people have feelings. And,
lots of feelings.
Yeah. So,
and I can only bet that Justin and Megan and Meredith and even Colleen are getting a lot of those feelings.
Yeah.
Including ours.
Yeah.
obviously.
Both positively and negatively.
Sure. Yeah. Nobody's mediocre on this list. It's not. Nobody's like, oh, I'm medium.
Right.
Yeah.
Some of the restaurants that were not in the top 15 last year that did make it this year include Lillian from that same Lost Letter group.
Yep.
Slack Tide, Lafayette and Grace, who you just mentioned, that are relatively new restaurants. Morty's, another relatively new restaurant up in Northside, and Chez Nu.
Yes.
Which we both love.
Mm-hmm. We both do love it.
Can we get the Chez Nu folks over here?
I would love. She would be a great interview, like a great.
Do you speak French?
She's not French.
Do you speak French?
Poorly, but you speak French.
Un petit peu.
Yes, exactly. I do not.
That's all I know.
I can say escargot.
Bonjour, petit peu.
Yeah.
All right, beautiful. All right, so this is the moment we've all been waiting for.
Oh, is it though?
I've been waiting for. This is the Roby Top 15.
Oh, goodness.
Where we get to hear Roby's Top 15 list as it compares to the RTDs.
I am not comparing it to the RTD.
Well, people
I cannot
are.
do that at all. The research they did on this is highly, they really did a lot. I know that they did.
So let's just note that if my math is correct, which please double check me, 8 of your restaurants in your top 15 do not appear on the RTD's top 15.
8 of them do not. You are correct.
And a couple in your top 15
are mashed together.
Don't even appear in their top 100.
Yeah, true. Is your mind's blown?
That's breaking news, isn't it? Is it not?
Again, eating is so personal.
With all these disclaimers floating out there in the sky,
I need it.
Let's grab some more. Let's hear your top 15.
Well, I get a lot of...
Oh, I know. I'm aware.
A lot.
aware.
So I got to say, this is what it is. And as you know, people's feelings get hurt. Here we go. Here is my top 15.
Do you want to go backwards or frontwards?
I can roll either way.
Let's do it. Let's do 15 to 1.
All right. Number 15. So if you're familiar with Godocado, then you probably heard of Celeste Farms. It is a regenerative farm. It's a little out of the way, but dinner is excellent. Most of the stuff comes from the farm locally, and they do a bunch of fun drinks. It happens essentially once or twice a month, though you can get breakfast. The next one is June 19th, and I think it should have been included. I would like to match together Pink Room and Black Lodge for number 14. I think that particular concept is something that Brittany Anderson does extremely well. It is Richmond-centric, it's highly visual, it's hip, it's trending, and the foodstuffs are really great. Also, you get access to the chef, and I think that makes it a fun ranking. Chez Nu, we talked about this earlier, French, intimate, freaking great. Just absolutely stellar. Susie's Jewish Deli, really bright, community focused, lots of community events, excellent food. That's number 12. Number 11, Moore Street Cafe. Let's be honest here. They are consistent. The food is excellent. The place looks great. I realize that we have a lot of upper in cost dining in the Richmond 100 and in the top 15. I really think that we could look at some of the places that are affordable but also stellar. So that's 11 for me. 10 is the Roosevelt. I'm sure I'll get some flack for this, but it is a solid through line in that restaurant. Very talented chef, extremely cool place to eat. Beaucoup and Grisette, I put them together at number 9. Scott's not into that, but I am. I think that there is very little difference. So when you visit a brewery, I always say there's like a house strain, a yeast strain. I feel like that same thing happens at Beaucoup and Grisette. They share like similarities based on the individual that created the concept, so I think you can put both of them together. At 8, I have Abuelitas and Cochi Loco, just some stellar Mexican owned by the family Benavides. I mean, they're different Mexican foodstuffs, but they're both just excellent. At 7, Blue Atlas. I think Ben and his team are doing amazing things up there on the hill, and he should definitely talked about. I know that one fell off the list, which makes me very sad. Number 6, Adara. This was a hard one for me, but the sourcing and the knowledge and the items they're serving and how they're doing them so well, it's worth putting on the list. Number 5, same, Shoreline. I think that David's knowledge on seafood, especially in the state of Virginia, is absolutely phenomenal, and the food that they're putting out of that kitchen is super. Number 4, we'll put them together because they did Ida Squids and Dinamo, though I will say there is a difference between Italian and Jewish Italian, but the food there, it's both the places is just top notch. Number 3, the Brooklyn. I think for all of the 3 that they have, that restaurant group, I think Brooklyn is the best. I think it's more accessible. I think the food is really fun. I think the cocktails are just pristine. Number 2, Celadora. You know that I think this is excellent food. Hyper local, really small, a concept that isn't happening all over Richmond and is being done just extraordinarily well. And number 1, in at Little Washington, food adjacent, David Shannon's La Possum. And I can't get enough of that, and I've said it already, I would eat there every night if I could. So there you go. There it is.
And how do people reach you, Roby, with their opinions on your list?
Holy moly. Okay, if you want to talk to me about it, I'm happy to have a conversation. You can reach me at Call Me Roby on Instagram, or you can send us a message at Eat It Virginia, which you'll find this list on whenever Scott decides to put the graphics to it. Anything that you think I missed, because I would love to know. I do
have a couple questions about your list.
Hit me.
First of all, Shoreline at 5. He's opening up a new restaurant, or has it already opened inside Shoreline?
So he changed the concept a little bit and has opened up already. He opened 2 weeks ago.
The Dory or something?
The Dory is what it's called. And it's a little bit less of the fine dining that you saw previously at Shoreline, but it still keeps that incredibly great sourcing of seafood front and center.
Now, is Celeste Farms a place I can go and have dinner, or is it more like an event space?
You can go and have breakfast, but you cannot go. You have to go and you have to reserve dinner.
Okay. So, reserve dinner as like a party or like an event?
No. He does like on June 19th is the next time you can reserve to
Gotcha.
It's
not an every night sort of situation.
No, if you want to get an idea of how local he is, go to Cotto is one of his restaurants, Ian's, and that's a good place to go. I did put inside of the list that I sent you, and I want to. Sabrosa should sit somewhere in there, and I'm just not sure how to categorize it. It's just doing baked and flour and all of that stuff at a different level.
Yeah.
And then I don't know enough about Grace and Lafayette, which is why they're not in my list. I have not yet been to Grace.
We talked about going to both of them again sometime soon.
Yep. And I just didn't feel like it was fair to rank them when I'm just not aware.
You're just one person.
Mm-hmm.
You're just a single human.
So that's not saying that they're not good enough. I just don't know enough about them to say anything.
When we visit those restaurants, we'll talk about them.
Yeah, then we can amend if you'd like.
One last question about your list before I share a little bit of my thoughts.
Yep.
I believe last year when we did this, you said Celadora was your favorite.
Yep.
Is there a reason why you flipped Celadora and La Paz? I know we're splitting the atom here. There's not, they're both amazing places and people are going to have fun and a great experience at either or both.
Both, for sure.
But is there a reason why you've made that switch?
So Celadora is like maybe harder to get into than La Possum, and it's really like maybe a 1 and a 1.1 in my list there, but I can't do that. I had to put a 1 and 2, and a lot of people don't drink natural wine or don't understand it, and maybe La Possum has a tiny edge on menu items that are like fully dinner. How about that? So like you can go and have a steak if you'd like, or a crab cake, which feels very Richmond. How about that?
Well, thank you for not putting the slash in between those two and actually separating them.
You're welcome.
That was ballsy of you.
Oh, I know.
I'm not going to rank anything.
I didn't tie them up.
I'm going to just share my love list. Places that I love.
Love list.
That are not on, that aren't
puts
on,
me
that aren't
in
in
the
your
hot
list.
seat so I can have people come at me, bro. And
You
then
want some
Scott's like, I like some love.
You want some water or anything?
No,
Are you
let's
doing
watch
okay?
You got some
Okay.
love.
All right. These are the restaurants that are on my love list. The Smoky Mug. Love.
Beat. You know I love the smoky mug.
Revel.
Yes.
Love.
Amy, more love.
Hobnob. Love.
I haven't been there in a while. Have you been there recently?
In the last 6 months.
Okay.
Yeah. I had lunch. It was lovely.
Oh, good.
Love.
You like that area. Are we moving to the lakeside?
The Lily Pad, which I love.
I don't think it should be on the list I think it's the ambiance and the view. I oftentimes think that they really do have some food hurdles.
Are you yucking my yum right now?
I'm not.
Okay.
I just said there was a hurdle.
Okay. Well, I love it. So there you go.
All
I
right.
love a bucket of Miller Lights and a burger.
Yes.
On a waterfront view and nice music playing in the
Yes.
background.
It may be our best waterfront restaurant, so there's that.
Two more for you. Truckle. The Truckle Cheesemonger.
Oh, yeah.
It's my date
Was
spot.
that on the list?
I don't think it was.
Okay.
That's my date night spot with my daughter. And Wooden Iron, home of my favorite salad.
Fruit salad.
The fried goat cheese and mixed berry. By the way,
Mixed berries.
we had the inaugural fan club meeting of the Wooden Iron fried goat cheese and mixed berry salad club. There are 3 of us.
Who are they?
If they want to come forward, they can come forward.
I'll have the mixed berry salad club.
There are 3 of us currently, and our server, when we asked them about the salad, said that it was their favorite as well. So we have 3.5. Our server and then the 3 members of the club.
Well, if Mary Scott Hardaway, who is our editor, is not in that club, she should absolutely be in that club.
Oh, is she a fan as well?
Huge fan.
Mary Scott?
Yes.
You're welcome. Just pay your dues and you're welcome.
And eat some berries and fried goat cheese.
All right.
I bet you the Virginia foodies are in that club.
They might be.
Yeah.
I'm not dropping any names.
I just did.
If they want to come forward, they can come forward.
I love it.
I'm a little mad at you.
Oh, God. Okay.
Yes.
Because I'm not in the mixed berry salad club?
Other reasons. So for those of you who know me at all personally, and even if you listen to the podcast semi-regularly, you'll know that I'm a huge fan of the band Fish with a PH.
Is there a band Fish with an F?
There might be.
Okay.
Just, they were a food podcast. People were thinking about fish. Well, whatever. They played the Sphere in Las Vegas in April. Mm-hmm. And after I missed the 2024 shows, I made a personal pledge to myself. I was not going to miss 2026. They played even more shows in 2026. More opportunity for me. I got shut out of tickets. Couldn't get one. And it's an expensive trip. I mean, tickets are expensive. Flights are expensive. Hotels, food. I mean, everything's expensive. So when I got shut out of tickets initially, I tried one more avenue and didn't work out. So in my brain, I'm like, this isn't happening. I'm not saving money for it. I'm just going to move. I'll watch the live streams and I'm going to move on. Then I get a phone call from a friend who says, I have 2 tickets for this one weekend. Do you want to come? Of course I want to, right? But at this point, it's like 3 weeks before the show, and I don't have a couple of grand just sitting around, whatever. So I politely and unfortunately declined that invitation and move on with my life. I see my friends' pictures from Las Vegas. They're having an amazing time. The set lists are amazing. I actually watch the concerts on my TV. Everything's amazing. Sunday morning, so the concerts are Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
Yes.
Sunday morning, I go for my...
their last, residency. So they end the residency on Saturday.
Yes. Sunday morning, I go for a walk. I'm a little depressed, a little mad at my life's decisions, but I'm trying to get over it. I go for a walk, a nature walk, and I get a phone call.
Nope, I texted you.
I get a text from my friend, Roby Martin,
Yes.
who says, what exactly did you say? Guess who I just saw? Or guess who I was hanging out with last night?
I said, do you recognize this guy?
Yes. So in my head, I'm like, if that picture she's about to send me is someone in my favorite band, I am going to jump in this lake that I'm walking around right now. The picture comes in, and it's a member of Fish, to which I asked, Were you at church services with him this morning? To which you replied,
no.
Because you were where?
I was in Las Vegas.
My brain almost exploded.
But we didn't go to the concerts.
I understand that because you make fun of my fish fandom, and you have expressed to me
and
privately.
I didn't know who he. Just so you know, I know nothing about this guy. I just happened to post something on my Instagram, and somebody asked me if I knew who he was.
So.
And I was like, no.
So explain to the folks a little bit about your time in Las Vegas, not seeing my favorite band.
Well, we went for a girlfriend's birthday, which we were there for the weekend. Very fun time. I just happened to be at one of the casinos and was standing in an area in which this gentleman who is the bass player, yeah, his name is Mike. He told me.
He told you? You spoke with him?
Yeah.
You didn't tell me that part.
But it's not the whole situation is not important. I just happened to be there, and so was the band.
Yeah. And the icing on the cake, after I over text them explaining to Ruby why I'm so upset, she said, "Oh, we had plenty of room in our suite. You could have stayed with us."
So maybe the cooler thing. I mean, obviously, I'm not in.
Is that a real invitation? Could I have crashed on your couch?
I mean, I'm sure. I would have had to have asked Scott. I would have had to ask Ryan, but
that's a Freudian slip, folks.
Yeah,
it's a Freudian
Scott,
slip.
If he wants to say, but no, Ryan would have made that final decision. The individuals we were with.
That means no, by the way.
Yeah, probably. And this is really part of them. This is they actually had the suite The Hangover was filmed in.
Oh my gosh. You're high rolling, Robes.
I was not in that. No. But they so if you remember that tiger.
Oh, I remember.
Where they lock him in that glass.
Yeah, Mike Tyson's tiger.
Yeah, like that. I sat there and watched. I mean, it was a cool little trip. I'm very fortunate to have very good friends.
Aren't we all? Some of our friends take us to McDonald's. Some of them flies out to Las Vegas and stay in the suite.
We flew ourselves out to Las Vegas.
Anyway, you might see some of our products behind us. We want to thank everyone for sending in their products to decorate our studio. This is the Switchel from the Haymaker Collective. Switchel is
this is the product feature portion of Eat It, Virginia.
Yeah.
If you'll take a look at this light yellow can, it's a lemon ginger flavored, made by the guys of Ninja Kombucha.
That's right.
Or the Haymaker Collective. Scott, you tried this?
I did, and I think it's worthy of a larger discussion about THC-based drinks. And I'm trying to learn more about them and the rules surrounding them, and I really don't know if anybody knows what the rules are surrounding them at this point.
I really do think it's the Wild Wild West.
Yeah. So maybe one of our listeners who knows more about this than we do, which at this point wouldn't be too difficult, can maybe email us at eatitvirginia@gmail.com or reach out over social, Eat It Virginia on Instagram, and just maybe explain to us what's going on right now and how it might change in the next few months or a few years. Because
you know who would probably really know, and I'll send a message to him, is Jay Bear, because and Chris Brumfield, both of them being part of the bingo that have come up with, what is that? It's a game name, a gamer name. Cheat code.
Cheat code, yes.
What is that? A-B star 5-8.
Up, down, left, right, BA start?
Yeah, if that's not a name of one of their drinks, I'll be pissed. But wasn't that a cheat code back in the day?
It was.
Yeah, so anyway, we'll ask them and have some more information with respect at what that looks like on the next pod.
We've talked a lot in this intro.
I feel like it's been a ton. I really think somebody else needs to talk. Can we let Evan do it?
Or Rita.
Yes. Scott, tell me what you remember from January 2021.
Oh my gosh, that whole period of time is a big blur. We had a really awesome podcast interview that month, I think, didn't we?
What a segue.
Right?
Yes, we actually have him with us. Evan Campbell's with us today. He's changed. So everybody's changed since 2021.
He's got a very impressive mustache.
I know you are rocking you grew it yourself? Mm-hmm. Oh, that's nice. He's changed a bunch of things since then. I'm excited to talk to you because you went from local chef to corporate essential chef and had a lot of stops in between.
Yeah, it's been a lot in just that little 5-year or so period. Last we spoke, I was still running the stables. I'd done some work with the Franklin Inn. At the time, we were getting ready to open up the market, and I decided to kind of have a little bit of a pivot. I think all of us got a little exhausted and beat down by what had happened to all of us in different ways. And I think for somebody that kept businesses running during the pandemic, there was this sort of internal expectation that like, oh, once this is over, there will be a way that it'll come back to us in some kind of way. And I didn't feel that. So
And you were right.
And I was right. Yeah.
Look at that.
Nothing came back.
Yeah. And I was looking for an opportunity to keep doing work with food, but maybe not at that like peak tier leadership level that I was, where it was multiple restaurants, again, at the time with no people in the restaurants. So I had a headhunter reach out about a position in Sedona, Arizona, which is like super different from anywhere I've been or worked. And they not only were offering a pretty small program, it was like 16 cabins up in Oak Creek Canyon. It was on an apple orchard with a greenhouse and garden, 70 chickens. Most of the food came from the land.
Oh, God.
And I basically got to wake up in the morning and make breakfast for the 16 to 32 folks that were there, and then do the same thing for dinner. They were on their own for lunch. I called myself a chicken tender because in the mornings I would have to get all the eggs. And it was very cool, and it was exactly what I needed at the time. I thought I'll do this for a year. And then I'll probably make my way back to where my people are, which is obviously out here in Richmond on the East Coast. And while I was there finishing up my tenure, I had another resort there that was like, this is pretty cool what you've done here. They had seen my resume doing some consulting work in the past, and they were having a new construction build for a restaurant at the resort, Poco Diablo Resort and Spa, but they didn't really have a concept or an idea in mind. So they hired me on to kind of redesign the restaurant space, build the menu, hire the staff. So I spent another year out there opening another restaurant, which was not what I expected to do, but it was really fun.
What was Arizona like in 2021? A lot different than Virginia, I imagine.
It was the polar opposite. I mean, here on the East Coast, you would see signs everywhere like, please respect, the servers continuing to wear masks despite openings. It was a very opposite reaction in that area where during the pandemic, they had signs that said, please respect the staff's right to not wear a mask. So things opened up. I think they said there was about a 2-week closure of restaurants during the pandemic. Although a lot of the restaurants out there are very open air. So a lot of the things that we had done early on in allowance, they kind of did the whole time. So, but yeah, very different world out there.
And so how was that in your brain adjusting to that sort of lifestyle?
It was challenging for sure. I mean, I had managed to dodge COVID for the entire closure period because it was just me and Thaddeus in the restaurant. But there was, I think, 2 waves that made their way through the property out in Sedona when I was there. And I was the only one that was working because I had gone through the correct steps and followed the correct things. But, it all worked out.
Yeah.
And I did my hiking and I ate my green and did my yoga. And it was definitely a lifestyle change.
Sedona is pretty hippy dippy, right?
It is very hippy dippy. I think
Technical term.
Yeah, sorry.
yeah, very technical terms. I think that a lot of the expectation for those that visit is that it is all kind of that hippy dippy free love. Sedona is a very, very expensive tourist town. So the folks that do live there are energy workers or body workers or yogis, but a lot of them come from big fancy corporate jobs, and they've made a good bit of money in order to live out there. I mean, my staff in the restaurants, they were driving an hour and a half because that was the closest you could really afford
to afford to live, Aspen.
Big challenge. But, staffing restaurants is difficult everywhere.
Of course. But an hour and a half is
That's a hike. But unlike here, it's not like there's city, or town. It's desert, town. So it's a little different.
maybe it's normal for them.
Yeah.
What was the travel like out there? Did you drive cross country or did you fly?
Oh, I drove. Yeah.
Tell us about that trip. Any fun stories on the way out in 2021?
It was very neat. I mean, my best friend decided to make the trek with me because it would have been very boring alone. And I had some friends lined up to fly the cat across the country, so I wouldn't have to do that with a cat. But I got rid of all my furniture and belongings, and whatever fit in my little Honda was what I drove across. Little Honda. It was an SUV. I could fit a chair and all that.
Let's be real.
But,
there was a chair.
We would basically,
chair and a friend and no cat.
Yeah, that's all you need.
Sure.
We would drive between 6 and 10 hours, kind of finding cool cities along the way, just to stop and spend the night, eat good food, and break up the trip. And on the way back, 2 or so years later, did the same thing, but
Same
picked
friend?
a different route. No, I wouldn't put her through that twice. She took the cat back while I drove back. So
you did a different route on the way back so you could see something different.
yeah. I had missed my New Orleans days, so I'd gone kind of centrally to get to Sedona, and then I snaked my way down south so I could hit some of those good southern spots.
I love that. Just a little 2-year hiatus and some dry.
I'm jealous.
When we were talking about it, when he was out there, all I could think to myself is, how can I get out there? I need to
didn't
go right
go.
now. I don't know why. We were busy driving up and down to Maine. I don't know what we were doing. Who even knows? But I'm so sad I didn't. Do you have friends still out there?
Oh, yeah. Actually, I've got a couple friends out there. I started because I can't just do one thing.
Of course.
There's a big market for Airbnb chefs out there because a lot of people staying in town aren't staying at the resorts. And a really good friend of mine, Jordan Rode, kind of cornered the market. His business is Out of Soup, and
Love it.
he would basically, if I had off time, if he's had a bigger gig or something going on, I would jump in and help him out with that. And we've stayed in touch. Got a couple friends I know in the resort world in case you do want to still take that trip.
You just never know.
You could take a
right?
flight out there and hang out, do some hiking, eat some food.
Oh, do a ton of dry heat yoga. I'm in. That's perfect. Airbnb chefs. That's a good thing to know about. Is that how we started this private chef?
That is how it kicked off. I mean, in Sedona, you get a lot of folks that are going there, families, a lot of individual travelers, and a lot of bachelorettes. And it's a different kind of experience depending on who the client base is. And doing some of that work with Jordan, I quickly realized that there was a niche market, and I thought it's something that I could really kind of continue anywhere as a side hustle. So I brought it back to Richmond, which has been very fun.
So tell me about that, because I occasionally do like to have a party in which I am not cooking.
Yes.
Because, well, sometimes people just don't want to eat the same snacks I make over and over again. So you have a full, I could hire you to come to my house and cook for how many people?
You can. My sweet spot is usually between 4 and 12 because
Nice.
that's something I can do with just me. I usually try to keep it under 32 to 35, but I've got a couple folks from my previous restaurant days here who always jump in and help out if I've got a bigger group.
Nice. And you'll bring all the stuff and we can talk about a menu and that's the end.
Yeah, I mean, every service basically comes with, whether it's your home, which we actually talked about doing an
Yes,
event.
absolutely. We probably will.
I will come to your house, kind of see what you've got, not judge based on what you have.
Right.
Whatever.
But
I hope there is judgment. That's what. Can I pay for that? To judgment on the kitchen setup? Okay,
there's an
perfect.
add-on for that for sure.
Love it.
Well, I'll just make sure you've got the right pots, pans, platewares. And with Airbnbs, some of them have nothing, so I can schlep what I need, or I can bring what is needed. And that also comes with some menu development. If you say, I don't eat this, or I'd really like to see that, I'll kind of sketch something out, and we can come to an agreement. Anything from a 3-course to a 5 to a 7. I had a request for a 12-course about 4 or 5 years ago. That requires
12
staff,
courses.
but yeah,
That sounds
small
like a
bites.
hostage situation.
Well, and they wanted to do it for 14 people. I just
Of
didn't. I
course,
didn't
you
have the
don't
bandwidth.
You know what? Maybe we should knock it down to.
Yeah, keep it simple.
Yeah.
And you can book yours truly, but I also have another side hustle where you can book my associate, Chef Rita Recipe.
Ooh.
I know. It's a fun one. I kind of tagline there is I am a award-winning chef and mediocre drag queen. So if you wanted to do it, that came from the bachelorette parties. There was a need for an entertaining side, and as somebody who stands at 6'3", 6'4", and pair of dress shoes, I'm quite a spectacle in full drag. So.
A chef in full drag. That is dinner and entertainment.
Where does Evan begin and Rita end, or vice
Who knows
versa?
these
Is there
days? Who knows
is the
these
line
days?
pretty blurred? Or
I mean, it's not a character. I see what you get. I'm not flipping. I'm not splitting. I'm not singing. But I think it's just kind of fun and disarming for folks.
can that be added on or no?
The flip? Oh, you can pay for it. I don't know if you want it. My talents lie elsewhere. So
It's the snacks with the occasional drag on the side.
Got it.
that part.
But okay, so we have private dining, which is amazing, and I often think that we don't have enough people that do it and do it well here in Richmond. And then your day job now after Arizona,
Yeah, big pivot. Big
another
pivot.
one, yeah.
I've done some directorial work, especially out in Sedona. I've gotten hired twice now as an executive chef and then taken over as a director because it does go hand in hand depending on the size of the location and having open restaurants from start to finish. Even though I know the culinary side really well, the business side is something I'm just as comfortable with. And after moving back to Richmond, after that couple of years, I came back and started doing some consulting work. I worked with a nonprofit down in Gloucester. And then I got hired on to help the Hilton Richmond downtown. They were opening up Gather and Hem,
which was delicious when you were there.
Yeah, it was a cool concept, something that Richmond didn't necessarily have. So I did some work with them, and then I wanted something to keep me here permanently. The hotel world is something that I've done, and I wasn't really interested in continuing. And I saw this opportunity to work as what I would call a director of food and beverage at Westminster Canterbury. I knew very
the hottest
little
club in town.
The hottest club in town. I mean, being not from Richmond, when I mentioned that to friends and families when I got the interview, they're like, "Okay, come on, Westminster Canterbury." I was unfamiliar, and I don't have a background in continuing care or in the healthcare world, but I thought I'd check it out. And it's a cool combination of both food and beverage. I mean, we have 7 unique dining programs for independent living. And then we've got the healthcare side, the assisted living side, the catering side. We've got a child development center with 150 kids that we feed throughout the week and an employee dining room. So it checked the box of multi-level restaurant kind of management. And I come from a long line of caregivers. My mom was a nurse. My grandma was a nurse. It's something that I always thought I wanted to do, but I made green beans instead. But this was an opportunity to also kind of come in with my love language of food and provide a level of care, which I wasn't sure how it would shake out, but I'm almost 2 years in and I've really enjoyed it. It's super fulfilling and fun and challenging and all the things you want from a career.
So normally I talk to people that are in a restaurant, and the opening of a start to finish a restaurant I'm familiar with. I've done with, I know less than zero about what that type of restaurant concept or even 7 concepts. What does your day to day look like?
I also didn't know when I started, which was overwhelming. The property has about 1,000 residents, so it's a big place.
It's massive.
Yeah, and there were established what we would call restaurants there. We've got a little cafe, kind of pastry shop. We've got casual diner spot for breakfast and lunch. We've got a little market space with some grab and go, and then we've got some higher end stuff. We've got your country club luncheon spot. We've got your kind of fancy, what I call the Jefferson of Westminster Canterbury. We call it the Canterbury Room. And then we've got a neat little there was a restaurant that wasn't quite open. It had been built and not established. And the cool thing about being a director is there are things in place, but residents change just like cities change, but what the needs are. So my job was to look at what the residents want and also what things are doing well business-wise to make sure that it's being utilized. And I've pivoted concepts. I mean, the Bella's restaurant, which didn't really have an identity when I came in, we were kind of trialing a couple of different things, and we settled on a pretty neat rotating 2-week menu where we do regional menus every 2 weeks. So we had my big fat Greek menu the past 2 weeks, so Greek food for 2 weeks. We did 2 weeks of Vietnamese food. So it's kind of neat. It's like opening a restaurant every couple of months.
Sure,
in terms of changing things up. And then building programming. I get to throw parties. I joke around with friends and family that it's a little bit like working on a cruise ship that never leaves port. I'm very cruise director adjacent, where it's socializing, it's building programs, it's working with residents. It's very neat.
Are you hands-on doing any cooking at all, or are you supervising everybody that's doing it?
It's been very strange, but I've kind of traded in my proverbial chef pajamas for shirt, tie, and pants. I mean, I'll hop on the line if it's needed. I'll do some expo, if there's a short, but it's not part of my day anymore. And I think that the luckiest person in the world is my partner, because he only started seeing me after Chef World. So now I come home from work and I'm not tired and I haven't been cooking all day. So where it used to be eating leftovers over a trash can, now I'm cooking nice dinners at home. So
that is good.
Cool change of pace.
Oh, I love that.
What have been some of the biggest surprises in working with the people that you work with and in the environment that you work with? What did you not expect that you're now experiencing?
I think in my mind I had a hesitation that it would be a lot of hospital type food in that environment. But I have a very wide range of residents. I call them everything from my fried chicken residents to my foie gras residents. We have folks ages 67 to 104. So we've got folks that grew up on fried chicken, collard greens, and macaroni and cheese. We have residents who are exclusively gluten-free, organic, high-end, fine dining. So it's a difficult population to please because you do have that.
I was just about to ask you that.
And then being in a continuing care retirement community, a lot of the staff, it's a non-tipped environment. I mean, they're paid well, but it's a lot of my front of house team in particular, they're high school and college students. So this is like their first job. So whereas I'm used to being in a kind of a fine dining setting, folks with some experience, and it's a little bit more return to roots trainings and things. So that's been a little bit surprising, a little bit of a challenge, but it's been super fun.
That does sound like the two don't typically mesh together well. Lots of needs, not a lot of experience.
It's a challenge.
He says no comment. He's just
He
smiling at you.
I know that face, but yeah, I
He
bet
wants to
it
keep
is.
his job another 2 years, right? Let's not get him fired today, please.
No, I mean, just from a training standpoint, I can see how that
Of
would
course,
be
yeah.
a pretty steep learning curve.
And I'll say the same thing to my staff, to my residents, to my friends. My job is to make sure that everybody's happy, and I will die trying because it is an impossible task, even outside of it. I mean, in restaurant world, you think you've got the method right down, the food is excellent, and every day is a little different, which is why I got into the business to start with. So it's been very cool.
You touched on this a little bit. This might be your first time in your life, or in your adult life, where you have been home from work at 5:30 in the evening.
It's been wild.
Yeah.
I'll say to friends that have worked in corporate their whole lives, I'm like, oh my God, Saturdays and Sundays, am I right? Like this whole getting home at 5 thing is wild.
Cool?
I took it for granted. I mean, when you work as a chef, you're missing weddings, you're missing funerals, you're missing parties, concerts. I do kind of miss the river on Mondays being super quiet, or being able to go out and eat on a Sunday afternoon or Tuesday night and, having nobody there. But it's also nice to be able to spend time with friends. I was able to go to River Rock this year because I didn't have to work the weekend. It's been cool. It's been an adjustment, but I've enjoyed having a change of pace.
And what are some of the good stuff that you what were when you got here and you were able to go out? Like, where did you go and you were like, oh man, I wish I did this before, or I'd heard really great things about this. Like, where are you going?
So I think I mentioned last time we hung out, I am now officially a South Sider. Just bought a house in Forest Hill.
South Side.
I know. Whoop, whoop. So I've been kind of revisiting some of the old Forest Hill favorites that were open when I was there. I mean, Laura Lee's still just knocks it out of the park.
I don't understand why we don't talk more about a fern bar. I feel like that
Right.
Kendra Murden was like, I'm going to have a fern bar. And we were like, fern bars. And then that's it.
That's it. Yeah.
Like, why isn't that more?
Check the box.
Yeah, we have one. Okay. I love that spot.
Little Nickel still has some of my favorite nachos in town. Those like Hawaiian pork nachos. I went and had those. I'm like, it tastes familiar.
I just wrote about that poo-poo platter, which gives you like that small little, have you had it?
I haven't had it since last I was here.
Has
Something
the
about
little
having something on
grill?
fire at the table. Yeah, I'm too much of a disaster to be trusted with
No,
that.
you're not. I mean, I don't think you could really cause any problems, because if you could, I would have already. But I love the idea of a little campfire at your table with a bunch of people. Yeah, Little Nickel's great. Oh, that's fun. What else?
I recently checked out Vossen.
Oh, with the E2 Mama.
No. The one in Forest Hill, which has
K-bop. It's the Korean food.
Oh,
it was
Kobop.
like Kobop. Thank you. Bomb.
Yeah, the
Bomb.
food. The food.
Yes.
Oh, I have not. Somebody keeps asking me to come there, and I haven't gone. So
They had some bulgogi tacos that were exceptional. I know. They had a birria quesadilla that I think they only do on Tuesdays. It's funny because, breweries, I feel like always, if they don't have a food license beer, there's like a concept around breweries where they can't always have a kitchen. This one does at Vossen. They have their own kitchen, but they have like a cutout of a food truck display in there to make it feel like it's a food truck. So you still have to get your own food from the food truck, but the food is very good.
Cool.
So,
A permanent food truck.
there's a new bakery I have to check out.
Janet's, you got to go.
Janet's?
Oh,
Okay.
yeah. Yeah, I mean, you probably have had some of their stuff when you were in Charlottesville, but like...
Oh, yeah. This is the spot.
It's good. It's really... I don't want to say I'm surprised for Forest Hill, but I am, because I can't think of a bakery in Forest Hill like this one.
It's a scene also. I mean, it's a mob scene out there on weekends when you drive by.
See, that's one of the bummers about having weekends off. See, if I had my
Mob
weekdays,
scene.
no mob
You'd be
scene.
like there on Tuesday.
And Baltic's Bagels? Have we done the Baltic's Bagels?
He was sitting in that seat a few weeks ago.
Okay. Oh,
yeah, thanks for watching. I'm just messing with you.
He works during the day.
I know.
I mean, the bagels are phenomenal, but
Yes.
as a chef, to see a bagel line work like a true like culinary brigade.
Do not
I
get
mean,
me started.
behind hot. I'm like, you're making a bagel. It's awesome that you're doing it the way you should. I mean, the efficiency and the lines out the door.
And
for
Euro
that
is
too.
passionate about his bagels. Like he
dig it.
he was talking for a long time about them.
Oh, he's going to be thrilled what you just said because that is his whole thought about it. They're great. I love them. They're all puffy and fun.
Absolutely.
It's good stuff. So wow, let's okay. So where we have private dining, then we have corporate dining, and then we have somebody told me that you have a whole like grassroots organization you're thinking about.
Yes, because
He's
like
not
I
busy
said,
enough, obviously.
I know, and then he also finds time for buddies, and he's a really
And
good
Rita?
friend. I mean, like, there's all cool things.
I know. I like doing stuff. Stuff is the best. There's a couple of community leaders and folks that I've known for years that we've all kind of come to the conclusion that there might be a gap in the market for some nonprofit support for restaurants and for like retail food venues. I remember back in the pandemic, last time I was on the podcast, there was a big challenge trying to make changes or to get clarity on licensing and, alcohol sales were a big thing when we closed our doors. Now I've heard restaurants having continued issues with licensing, with noise complaints, access to emergency services. And there really is, I think, a gap to have some lobbying organization that kind of becomes the voice for Richmond restaurants.
Sure.
That we can work with the local government directly. That way we can liaison and be the one voice. I think the local government gets frustrated when there's 50 different restaurateurs all kind of hammering from the same issues, but from different directions.
Sure.
Same thing with dealing with, the police force here is going to, of course, answer a call from a neighborhood group when there's a noise complaint. But it seems to be the same couple of restaurants that are being targeted when they're surrounded by other businesses that are operating. So the hope is that, with some of the contacts that we have in local government and with the police force, the fire force and even neighborhood associations, like if we can kind of be the landing pad for communication. We are doing the R&D right now with some of the restaurant groups and seeing what the interest is like and where the focus should be. But I'm hoping to get that off the ground in the next 30 to 60 days.
Love it. So if anybody's interested in that's listened to the chefs or restaurant people, obviously Evan's a great place to go. Also, I mean, I missed this when we were talking about Westminster, but if they want to be part of, don't you have I got a press release, I don't even know if it's released, talking about the fact that you're going to do, I cannot believe I love this so much, local chefs at Westminster.
Yeah, it's been my goal since I've started to really kind of bridge the connection between the community and Westminster Canterbury, not only for chefs and things to come in, but also for an opportunity for those that live on property to get to know the community. Because even though it is a gated continuing care retirement community, there are opportunities for them to still go out and to experience new things. And, if we can bring the advertisers to them and let them know what's good and what they like, we can bring them out too. We've done a couple of wine events there already. I mean, we had Barboursville come on site and our team put together like a little 5-course tasting, and Barboursville did their pairings and their presentations with it. Valentina, who's a fantastic
yes, I love
wine gal
Valentina.
here in town.
I've actually been to her parents' winery, and parents are aunt in Italy.
Okay, well, Nona came down. I did an event at Brickfire, but she brought her family's wine into Westminster, and we did another pairing dinner with her. But my goal is to really have a group of chefs in town that are interested in coming in. We've got a couple of dining rooms that have some fun open kitchen spaces, and the idea would be we could provide whatever you need there. You come and cook your food. You can meet some of our residents, and our activities department plans trips out, and we can load up the bus and bring them in for some nights at the restaurants that are interested. So that would be something that could use the support for, because we've done some of these Greek nights and these Vietnamese nights, but it's great when we can have the folks in town that do it and do it really, really well.
Yeah, sure. When the time comes for me to leave my home, can I shoot you a text? You can get me off the waiting list at Westminster.
Yeah. I wish I had that
bump me up. No.
that kind of pull.
No, it's not going to happen.
There's quite the wait list.
I know.
But I assume you're already signed up because we're getting
Definitely.
up there, right?
2 years ago I signed up just to be on the safe side. So since you were last here, we've added a segment to the podcast.
Oh, okay.
Yes, and it's called 6 Questions. We asked every guest the same 6 questions.
Okay.
And now you're in the hot seat.
Hit me.
Are you ready? All right. Question number 1, how do you take your coffee?
It's usually black, although recently my partner uses like the real fancy coconut creamers, so I've been putting a little splash in there.
Ooh. Do you have a specific Richmond coffee that you like, or you're just pretty much drinking what you can?
I'm a little bit of a garbage person. I will have I have a nice like espresso drip machine at home, but I just like a bucket of iced coffee, and I'm really like a Dunkin' Donuts coffee guy.
Don't
because
knock that.
I don't love a cold brew. It's a little too much for me. I like it a little watered down. You know, I gotta sip it through the day.
So you like a hot coffee covered in ice, not a cold brew. I got it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, fair. I understand.
So I know you're not cooking in the kitchen every day anymore, but when you did or when you do, what kind of music is playing? What's your soundtrack?
It could be a number of things. I'm a big podcast guy, believe it or not.
Just not ours. I'm joking.
It's in the rotation. Now that I'm back, I got to plug back in.
There we go.
There it is.
I love a podcast. I also love some classical or opera going on in the background, especially when I'm doing like long cooking or dancey stuff, anything where I can like, be
I need song titles.
You know what's been on in the house for lately is this is kind of embarrassing. There's like a RuPaul's Drag Race playlist where it has both like RuPaul's songs and then things that like you're likely to see or hear.
Oh, I love this.
It's like
RuPaul
ladies of the
adjacent.
80s and some
this sounds
divas of the late
perfect.
90s. I know. I'm a big fan.
Oh, so my husband likes to play, like he just likes to tell the Alexa or the Google just to play whatever. So I'm going to tell him that this is going to be, we'll listen
Play
to like the
RuPaul
next.
radio and let it take over your life too.
Oh, he's going to be so excited.
Your favorite places to eat around town?
Ooh.
Or your most favorite place?
So I think because I was living in the fan since I've been back, I'm a regular at Joe's Inn.
He knows how I feel about
this.
this.
I know. It's
But you gave me a menu hack, which I think you should say.
Oh, share. Yes, please.
what was
Because you eat the same things typically. And
I do. I love their onion rings, and I'm a. This is embarrassing as a chef, but onion rings and ranch are just like my combinations of things.
I was like, I tried this, and he goes, "No, these are the things
You're doing
you
it
should order."
wrong. I mean, I can't do a real hefty like Italian meal with any amount of frequency. I actually like the little simple gyro they have on the menu. It's nice, it's quick, it's easy. They also make a mean PBR and Jameson, which is usually
which is hard to do. so totally done wrong. Yeah.
My go-to there. I also had a new spot that I've just checked out. It's not new to everybody else, but I went to the Texas Inn.
Yep.
In Devil's Triangle. Again, very simple, inexpensive. We went when it was quiet. It was nice. We were just chit-chatting with the folks that were working there. Other than that,
Very economical, that place. I feel like their prices are
it's
among the best in the
unheard
city.
of.
It's like in the 1970s. Also, really great crinkle cut fries.
Yeah.
Which I think it's hard to find a fully fried to order crinkle cut because I like all this.
And really late night hours, right? They're open
Are
pretty
they
late.
24 hours?
I don't know if they're 24, but they're pretty late.
I was worried because we went like on a Sunday thinking it would be like brunch madness, but I think we hit that sweet spot where it was like too late for brunch, too early for happy hour. So I'm not sure what the hours are there.
Yeah. This next question might lead into something we talked about earlier since you are about to move or have just moved. A place you haven't visited yet that you really want to get to. Like a restaurant you've been hearing a lot about.
Oh, I've been kind of unplugged from some of the new spots, but I've been dying to go back to because it really has been like 8 or 9 years since I've been. And dear sweet David Shannon's La Possum. It's one of those things that every time I go, I'm like, man, there's this classics that you see on there, that they're going to be great, and I just need to get it together. Now that I'm off on weekends, I need to book a reservation so I can go in the next 4 to 5 months.
You get him into Westminster, he'll get you into La Possum, and you guys will be perfect.
Yeah, can you imagine a La Possum night at Westminster Canterbury?
I mean, it would be amazing. And David Shannon would do that. You know that he would do.
Yeah.
He would. I mean, in it, Little Washington adjacent food in Richmond. I mean, how can you go wrong?
Oh, and I tell you what, that the Westminster Canterbury folks would go nuts and would regularly come in.
Oh, he would be overrun, but with buses too.
Yeah.
And then he'd be like, no more. So he's great. I just was there. He had the same stuff you would expect, and then he had like a couple of specials. And I'm always surprised at the creativity that comes out of that kitchen.
It's amazing.
Go
and
immediately.
before we get me in the hot seat, additionally, since you guys review food,
Yes.
where should I be going?
Oh, have you been to the Brooklyn?
No, but I've heard amazing things. I've seen pictures. I love like sexy decor in a spot. It looks beautiful. I've heard great things. Top of the list now?
I think I would if I were you. Yeah.
Okay.
I think you'll find it real. I mean, and everybody keeps saying, why do you call it broody? That sounds like not a compliment. It is absolutely a compliment.
Oh, yeah.
It's like moody and broody and like really great wine list and 2 wood like fiery things.
Oh, yeah. Sign me up.
And you can see all the shit. And it's like everybody is, I mean, personality, beautiful. Like they're just so much gorgeousness wandering around. In
What's
that place.
what's the best thing on the menu?
So if you're going to do it, I'd do the fish. I don't know if they've changed it. It was a branzino.
Okay.
But it's like this charry. I mean,
Enough said.
the whole thing is just flat on this plate. Eat it fast because they use those plates that don't hold heat, which drives me nuts.
Okay.
But amazing. And
Okay,
get
great.
the Brooklyn the drink because I know how you feel about all the bourbon and whiskey, and you're going to be like,
Done.
How about a small business shout out, a business in your neighborhood or where you've worked in the past that doesn't get the love that you think they should? This is your chance to shout them out in front of our thousands of listeners and
You know what?
viewers.
I gotta give it back to my original baby here in town. I mean, not that they're struggling by any means, but the stables at Belmont, man. I mean, when I passed the baton along, Bryce, the chef there, there's a lot of the original staff still there. The concept has sort of stayed true. I mean, he doesn't do my food, but I feel like the spirit of the place is still there. Emily, who, has been really running it, even though I was, in charge there. She was kind of running it. She has this eye. She's on the board of Furbish, the fantastic thrift store in Forest Hill. Another shout out to a business. She has curated that space with the most beautiful artwork, makes it feel bigger, more intimate. So if you haven't been in a while.
I haven't been in a while.
Well, let's go.
I would love, I would love to go. Actually, I think this is going to be sad because I can walk. I haven't gone since you were there.
Okay. Well, we'll have to check back
and
in.
we sucked down 42. You were the chef. He did not do it with us. We sucked down like 42 lamb chops.
Yeah.
There was more than one of us, but still.
Before we go, there's one more question you have to ask. This
Okay.
is the tough one.
It's
Take
not
a deep
not-
breath and exhale.
I'm ready.
Give us your Richmond restaurant hot take.
Ooh, Richmond restaurant hot take.
Could be anything.
This is it going to be like a negative thing?
You can
has
do
to
it.
be.
You can do. You can say this. Don't call it negative. Call it an area of opportunity.
Oh, I like that. I'm not going to say it's an area of opportunity.
Okay.
It's just negative.
You know what, Remy? No.
If I have to see a ramp jam on every menu when it comes out, I'm going to scream. For me personally, there are a billion things you can make jam out of. A billion. Anything can be jammed. And that is just not my favorite. And I feel like there's just that time of year where it's on every menu.
I mean, how many things? I mean, seriously. Also, why are we jamming ramps when they're? I mean, like,
Quit the ramp jamming. The jam ramping.
yes. Stop with the rampant jam ramming. I mean, less. No. I mean, like, I love ramps. Why not just use them?
Yeah.
The season. I mean, you don't make green pea jam, so why
No.
are we doing it with ramps?
Put it away.
Seasonal. Let's
it away.
Yeah, let's just call it.
Yeah.
Love it. That's going to be the best soundbite on the planet.
Evan Campbell, you can jam anything.
Oh, God, it's going to be so good.
Put it on a bumper sticker.
Oh, it's going to be the greatest social media bite there is. Anyway, I'm so excited to have you. Thank you for taking the time to chill with us. You can find you where? Westminster Canterbury. You have a website for your private dining?
You can check out the Instagram, Rita.Recipe.
Okay.
You can send me an email, evanpcampbell@gmail. If you want to reach out to Rita, it's chefritarecipe@gmail.com.
You want to reach out to Rita.
You want to reach out to Rita.
Her response time is, much shorter.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, good. We'll follow you and look you there. Wait,
And
hold on.
be on the lookout for some upcoming announcements about the nonprofit.
Awesome.
So any restaurateur or chefs out there that's kind of rung true for, feel free to reach out to me as well.
I love it. Evan Campbell with Westminster Canterbury. You listen to Eat It Virginia with Ruby and Scott.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Yeah!